I don't know which one I love more, Taika Waititi the actor or Taika Waititi the director, because as the British would say, both are bloody brilliant. So yeah guys, it's the month of January. It's a pretty slow month for movie releases, and most of the movies that are going to come out this month are probably going to be terrible, so I decided to use this month, go back and see some of the movies from 2019 that I wanted to see that I didn't get around to seeing, like Jojo Rabbit being one of them. So Jojo Rabbit is this movie produced by Fox Searchlight, and it is written and directed by Taika Waititi, and it stars Roman Griffin Davis, who's actually making his film debut in this movie. I was surprised that this was his first movie. And he stars as Johannes, aka JoJo, who is a 10-year-old boy in a Hitler Youth training camp. And he is a fundamentalist. He basically is all in, really has this idealistic view of Hitler and Nazi Germany, to the point that he has this imaginary version of Hitler played by Taika Waititi himself. But everything that he thinks he knows in this world that he idolizes all comes crashing down when he finds out his mother, played by Scarlett Johansson, has been hiding this young Jewish girl played by Thomasin McKenzie. And now because he's getting to actually meet this girl, this creature that he believed was evil, this Jewish girl, is now bringing into question everything that he thought he believed. And honestly, when I first saw the trailer for this movie, I was like, who greenlit this movie? Because I'm like, really? You're making a movie, a comedy about Nazi Germany, and Hitler seems to be the lead? It almost seems like you're glorifying and putting a light spin on the horrible atrocities of World War II and Nazi Germany. But then on the flip side of that, I was like, well, this movie is being done by Taika Waititi. And if there's anybody that I trust to make this movie and make this movie not be completely offensive, because this movie could have completely fall off the rails and could have been wildly offensive. But I was like, if there's anybody that could probably do this movie justice, it's definitely Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi is proving himself to be one of my favorite filmmakers. And just like I mentioned in my opener, he's also proven to be one of my favorite actors. And this movie continues to solidify that. Like, whether it's his performance and his directing and What We Do in the Shadows, Thor Ragnarok, and now Jojo Rabbit, like, I'm growing to love Taika Waititi, and also his performance as IG-11 in The Mandalorian and his directing of the final episode of The Mandalorian. Like, yeah, I love Taika Waititi. And the thing I love about this movie, and really I think the real reason that this movie works, is because it's told through the eyes of a child. And because it's told through the eyes of a child, you don't get to really see all of the horrible atrocities that have been happening during World War II. And plus, this movie takes place towards the tail end of the war. But for the most part, at least JoJo is not on the front lines. He's not seeing all the murder, the torture, the rape, etc. And all he's really getting is the propaganda of the war as opposed to seeing the war. Now, with that said, this movie doesn't shy away from the horrible atrocities of the war. And that's something that I didn't expect. There are some dark moments that this movie does go to. And I appreciated that the movie didn't shy completely away from that. And when it happened, because this movie was a riot from start to finish. Like, there's a lot of tone shifts in this movie, and in a lot of ways and a lot of properties it doesn't work with the tone shifts, but in this movie the tone shifts completely, and it does work. It's told through the eyes of this kid. And speaking of the kid, like, Roman Griffin Davis, he is awesome in this movie. Like, again, I mentioned, I'm surprised this is his first movie. Like, he seems like a veteran child actor, and he puts a lot of adult actors to shame. Like, this kid was endearing, this kid was lovable. I loved every single moment with this kid. Like, this kid drives the whole movie. And JoJo was on screen pretty much the entire movie. JoJo drove this entire movie, and Roman Griffin Davis did a fabulous job driving this movie. And then also something else I appreciated, and something that I thought this movie was going to do that it didn't do. Like, it's very easy to fall into the gag of JoJo having this imaginary friend in Hitler and having that be the sole driving force of this movie, and it really wasn't. Like, the relationship between Hitler, and I probably shouldn't be saying the H word too much, because then this video is probably going to get flagged and YouTube censors and all this other stuff, and I'm a brand new channel, I'm trying to grow my channel, so I probably shouldn't say it. And granted, I'm not making money off of my channel, but still. But yeah, but the relationship between Roman Griffin Davis' character and Taika Waititi's character, it was peppered throughout the movie as kind of an ornamental setting for the main story. And the main story of this movie was this relationship that JoJo ends up having with this Jewish girl played by Thomasin McKenzie. Her name is Elsa. Not Elsa from Frozen, but a different Elsa. The relationship between these two kids developing was great to watch, because what truth of the matter is, when you watch kids interact with each other, they don't see race, they don't see difference, or rather they do see it, but it doesn't affect them. It's only society that implants those ideas of racism, sexism, homophobia. But it's sad, but if you look at the eyes of a child, people really aren't that different. And I feel like ultimately that's what this movie was trying to tell us. And I gotta applaud Scarlett Johansson. Like, as much flack as Scarlett Johansson has taken, deservedly so, from her her role in Ghost in the Shell, or even her comments regarding playing a trans man and being insensitive to the criticisms that people were having of why you can't actually cast an actual trans person. Sometimes you forget, and then also her high prominent roles as Black Widow, sometimes you forget that she's actually a pretty good actor. Like, I think about her performance in Don Juan, or even her performance in Marriage Story, which is a great movie, and now her performance in this. Like, she was awesome in this movie. Now granted, her accent didn't seem fully realistic, but at the same time, I wasn't so taken out of it that I didn't believe it. And it kind of made me wonder, why didn't she have a Russian accent as Black Widow, at least in the first movie, or at least show that she could do a Russian accent, since Natasha Romanoff is Russian. And another character who was making his acting debut in this movie was Archie Yates. He plays JoJo's best friend, Yorkie, and that kid is a scene stealer. I can't believe this is these kids' first movies. Like, these kids more than likely will have a long career because they're great. They're comedic timing. Like, that little kid, I was like, is so cute. I wish there was more of that character on screen. Like, he was so funny, and the relationship and the friendship that the two of them had, it was fun to watch. It was comedy gold, and that's ultimately what this movie was. It was comedy gold. It was very funny. Like, and the thing that allows this movie to be funny, the Nazis in this movie are being portrayed as buffoons. They don't have any of their shit together. They are essentially clowns. This movie threw in some Beatles songs, some David Bowie. Like, I was here for all of this movie. Like, I don't know where exactly it would rank, but this movie is definitely going down as one of my favorite movies of 2019. And so I would say Jojo Rabbit for me is a definite blockbuster. So anyway, have you guys seen Jojo Rabbit? What did you think about it? Let me know down in the comment section below. Also, if you can't hit that thumbs up button and like this video to really help out the channel, and if this is your first time watching one of my videos, please check out the other videos on my channel. And if you like what you see, please subscribe for more and hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. And tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. And as always, I'll catch you guys next time.